The Magician's Elephant by Kate DiCamillo. Chapter 4. Peter could, from the window of the attic room in the apartment's Polonaise, see the turrets of the prison. He could see, too, the spire of the city's largest cathedral and the gargoyles crouched there, glowering on its ledges. If he looked out into the distance, he could see the great, grand homes of the nobility, high up top the hill. Below him were the twisting, turning cobblestone streets, the small shops with their crooked tile roofs, and the pigeons who forever perched atop them, singing sad songs that did not quite begin and never truly ended. It was a terrible thing to gaze upon it all and know that somewhere beneath one of those roofs, hidden perhaps in some dark alley, was the very thing that he needed, wanted, and could not have. How could it be that against all odds, all expectations, all reason, an elephant could miraculously appear in the city of Baltise and then just as quickly disappear, and that he, Peter Augustus Duchenne, who needed desperately to find her, did not know, could not even begin to imagine the how or where of searching for her. Looking out over the city, Peter decided that it was a terrible and complicated thing to hope, and that it might be easier instead to despair. "Come away from the window," Vilna-Lutz called to Peter. Peter held very still. He found that it was hard for him now to look at Vilna-Lutz's face. "Private Duchenne," said Vilna-Lutz. "Sir?" said Peter without turning. "A battle is being waged," said Vilna-Lutz. "A battle between good and evil. Whose side will you do battle on? Private Duchenne." Peter turned and faced the old man. "What is this? Are you crying?" "No," said Peter. I'm not." But when he put a hand to his face, he was surprised to discover that his cheek was wet. "That is good," said Vilna-Lutz. "Soldiers do not weep. At least, they should not weep. It is not to be borne, the weeping of soldiers. Something is amiss in the universe when a soldier cries. Hark! Do you hear the rattle of muskets?" "I do not," said Peter. "Oh, it is cold," said the old soldier. "Still, we must practice maneuvers. The marching must begin. Yes, the marching must begin." Peter did not move. "Private Duchenne, you will march. Armies must move. Soldiers must march." Peter sighed. His heart was so heavy inside of him that he did not, in truth, think that he had it in him to move at all. He lifted one foot and then the other. "Higher," said Vilna-Lutz. "March with purpose. March like a man. March as your father would have marched." "What difference does it make if an elephant has come?" Peter thought, as he stood in the same place and marched without going anywhere at all. "It is just some grand and terrible joke that the fortune teller has told me. My sister is not alive. There is no reason to hope." The longer he marched, the more convinced Peter became that things were indeed hopeless, and that an elephant was a ridiculous answer to any question, but a particularly ridiculous answer to a question posed by the human heart. End of chapter 4.